It is December 8th, 2024. Myself, Rich Vendiga, and Mr. Brent Badal here to give you guys the scoop on everything markets, forex, indices, gold, crypto, the whole thing. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and kickstart, some of the news. Brent, do you want to showcase the website first before we get any like drop offs and stuff like that? Okay, cool. So guys, really quickly, we're going to actually showcase something called akashxlaunch.com. And this is a onboarding system. We did showcase it earlier on the call that we had with, the education team, Ali, Josh, and everybody. So we're not going to spend a lot of time very quickly, but I know some of you guys haven't watched that recording, weren't on it. You probably don't even know what the heck I'm talking about right now. And at the end of the day, like this is a resource that you can and don't have to use necessarily, especially if you're a leader. I understand when we have our teams and whatnot, we it's our baby, right? It's our business, and we like to make sure that we have control and all of those things. But Brent, myself, Armin, like the education team, the official corporate team put this together, right? So this is something that is 100% safe for absolutely any teams. It's not branded. This is all 100% in-house akashx content that is just meant to help somebody within their first 48 hours get up to speed on all the tedious little things such as tap to trade, mindset, like literally everything you can imagine. I think it's an amazing tool. We put some work and energy into this. So I'm going to share my screen and I'll let Brent talk about it a little bit quickly here. So if you guys head over to akashxlaunch.com. I'm already like logged in. Or actually, you don't even need the login right now, so you're good. You guys can literally like log in, and this is the first thing you're gonna see right here when you click akashxlaunch.com. So I'll scroll here, and Brent, I don't know if you want to touch real quick on the vision for this, or like you want to just go through the videos here.
Course, of course. So the whole purpose, just like Rich said, right, is the onboarding side of things because we know that everything is inside the akashx app. It's inside akashx website, but you have to kind of navigate through it. Something new, it's something intimidating. We understand that. Rich and I have been here now for 2 years in akashx, so we've seen many attempts of onboardings, and it's not that they've failed because even we've worked on some. Like shout out to Marianne, she made a ton of amazing PDFs. But PDFs are just not it. Like people were not wanting to open the PDFs and actually read through the PDFs. So we finally went into doing this, something we wanted to work on to a long time. Shout out to Armin, a lot of his teams that actually know development and things of that nature to be able to like bring these ideas actually to life, right? So once you go into Catrix right away, you have your first steps, you're scrolling through, you get your welcome message right away. Bam, immediately video. So it's your welcome video to Catrix itself, what to expect, all that good stuff, right? As you're going through more, you get the community chats. So obviously we have one akashx official community chat, right? We have the actual akashx where it has all the channels. So we're talking about that one. We understand that maybe your teams have certain things, that's great, but we're not talking about all those here. Again, it's just about akashx and akashx one only, right? So I'll just quick little welcome of what that is and what that chat is there for. Cool thing is that we have these nice little technology on the video. So everything that we actually recorded, guys, or at least 90% of it is from a phone. So you could see actually from your phone how this is. Like navigation on the desktop, of course, because there's a lot of people that like that. So navigation on desktop, what it looks like, navigation through what the akashx app looks like as well, with where to find things, all that good stuff there and there, and then your first 48. So here's where it gets really interesting, right? What you have to do with your first 48. So as you're going, the first thing you want to look at obviously is just the first 48 onboarding. Get the picture painted of what to expect. That's the biggest thing that a lot of times Rich and I see, right? As far as that, like, still word to it. Just I don't know, just like painting that picture wrong at that point, a lot of times what it is or where to start. So here we show you like what to expect in your first 48, learn about trade locker, where to place the trade, how there's little tips and tricks like that that I show. So of course, more is actually in the actual replay sessions academy, but it's just a little bit enough. Trade alerts again, and all of it that we're showing here on these videos again from the phone because we understand your mobile. Trade locker, trading view, everything's downloaded right then and there. Risk management, so good videos on that to learn about risk management. Rich obviously is really good at that part, so he did that video himself, just talking about really understanding risk management. Trident navigation, TradexMastery navigation, just how to go through the websites. Crypto, of course, Armin did videos on crypto, so he has videos there of crypto, how to take your first crypto trade. I think that's one of the biggest questions that everybody has, right? Like, okay, Armin's on a list today. Like, now what do I do? So he goes through this part, and then at the end, congratulations. Then you actually get to celebrate. You get the little confetti, we get to have a party. And from here, now you just go back to the person that invited you as far as your upline or whatnot. Okay, cool. I'm on board and I understand, and there's more. We will be adding, this is just phase one, guys. We'll be adding more videos as we get that feedback, right? Because this is the main feedback that we've had for the last 2 years. As we're growing, there'll be more feedback. We'll record more videos, upload them. We're going to do it in Spanish. We're going to do it in Arabic. So as we're growing, but this right now is just phase one.
Yep. Well said, bro. That was amazing. Like a breakdown for everybody. Um, so yeah, and as you guys see, every single video was built by myself, Brent, and Armin. We are all officially on staff as educators, corporate faces of the brand. So there's no really like conflicting interest between like leaders, teams. Like we know how this goes, guys. Okay. This is like a real team leadership talk. Like we've been doing this long enough. So this is all in-house sponsored. Obviously, Josh and everybody is well aware and on board with this entire website. So we will obviously again, add things as we see fit. akashx is something that evolves very quickly, very often, right? We stay cutting edge. So, again, whether you utilize it or not, up to you. But if you guys have been seeking clarity for your newest members, especially if you on this call are like trying to go 3 and 3, 1K, maybe you don't have access to your upline. Maybe your upline is, building MDC, different brands. Like we've seen it all. This is something where if somebody clicks through that website, I mean, if they don't understand something, it's because they didn't watch the video. Like they skipped through it or like but it's so detailed and there's no hole that is like not covered there for like everything that you need, at least to get somebody situated, right? That's not going to make somebody an expert. It just gets them settled in. All right. So that's the website, man. Super excited. We have maxed out this call again. We're definitely going to have to look into upgrading the Zoom, but I kind of like it. If it doesn't max out like in the first 2 minutes, it's because like it's not time yet. I think
Yeah. We need like maybe 1 or 2 weekends more, and it would be really nice. I think
mhm.
the next step probably would be going live on akashxlaunch.com. I think that's going to be where we'll eventually move over, but I mean, I don't think there's not enough excitement. It should be a situation to where said when you're about to click and open, it should already be max, and we haven't seen that yet. So we're getting close
We'll get
though.
there. We'll get there.
Close. We're getting close.
Getting there. So yeah, shout out to you guys who are on time and ready to go because if not, the club is too full. You can't get in the club now. But on a real note, guys, let's get into some real value here. I'm going to let Brent take the floor here, bro, so we can cover some fundamentals to kick off the week. We just came off NFP, and I think honestly, bro, like we did really well on NFP week, like as a collective with the educators. NFP week on in December could get very nasty, and we like did really well, bro.
Oh yeah, it was nice, especially the live sessions in the morning, 8-0 for the week. I haven't done the flyer yet, but 8-0 for the week on live sessions, 2-0 on trade alerts. Hey, it was definitely a good
Something
week.
light, something light.
I love my news. You already know how I like that. That's my vibe. But yeah, let's go about as far as the news this week. So for news for the week, what we have, obviously, as I mentioned every single week, and I'll continue to do so. Don't fall for the smoke. Don't fall for what the news is going to say, what they're saying, this, that. No, we look at the charts, price action, all the good stuff you already know. The candles tell us the truth. That's it. But we need to know what news is happening and what time it's happening to understand how we're going to respond to the market. So tomorrow, Monday, we're cool. Really nothing to worry about. Final wholesale inventories, nothing to worry about. We're good. No worries at all. All that I'm looking at right now primarily is going to be USD, and that's because we trade NAS 100 and we trade gold. So those are the biggest things, right? Other educators trade other pairs, so that might be of their interest. So if you do like odd, then yeah, you want to actually pay attention to the market tomorrow, right? But as far as USD for NAS and gold, we're good. Tomorrow, Monday, no worries at all. Tuesday, again, no worries at all. We do have the OPEC meetings. Sure, some stuff could pop out, is what it is. Nothing crazy really at this point. It's just all about the oil side of things and whatnot. So it'll be interesting, especially on the gold side of things, to see what happens. But I don't think it's going to be nothing heavy for us to really trade. And that happens all day. The only thing we need to pay attention to on Tuesday, and they kind of snuck this one in, guys. That's why I always pay attention to the title and not the color of the folder, right? So 7:30, there's revised non-farm productivity, revised unit labor cost. These two are going to be important. Can it move the market? As we know, 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, gold and NASDAQ like to move regardless, so this might give it a little bit of push. But I am interested on the revised non-farm productivity. That one is something that you don't see much. It's a little bit weird that they kind of stuck it in there. So I'm gonna pay attention to that. Always, it's those little things that just kind of don't make sense. If you already trade with me, you know, right? Understanding the market, like the candle that doesn't make sense. A lot of times we see little news like this that doesn't make sense at that time. So I'm gonna be paying attention to that one on Tuesday. I do like the time that it's happening. Wednesday, it's where it gets fun, guys. You already know what time it is. My favorite time of the month, CPI, PPI. You know, I love trading it. 7:30 Central Standard Time. So unfortunately, it's 30 minutes prior to my session, and their session's live at that time. So I will not be able to go live because I don't want to take away the spotlight from any other educator going live at that time. I think we have John Leo typically goes an hour or two before I do. So I do not want to take away the time from them. So I will see what I see as far as like a trade alert if there's anything that pops off or a tap to trade. But CPI is something that I absolutely love. The market moves fast. So that's happening at 7:30. Then we have 9:30 crude oil, 12 at noon, 10-year bond auction. Remember, guys, what I told you about this, right? 10-year bond, 10-year, 30-year bond. We want to pay attention for the swing purpose as far as NAS. NAS likes to kind of the 10-year, 30-year bond kind of to paint the pace as far as what NAS is going to look like for the swing trade. I don't like swing trading, but I do like looking at those numbers just to kind of give an idea where we are, right? It's going to go up, it's going to go down. What strength does it have for those that are looking at NAS attached to like VU and things of that nature, right? To where it goes more into the 401k side of things and yeah, all that boring stuff. So that's why we pay attention to that. Federal budget balance. Again, this week, they're being sneaky, guys. Federal budget balance, for the last, I think, 6 months, it's been red, right? Red folder. For whatever reason, it's yellow folder, and they're projecting that it's going to be another 100+ billion in debt. So this one should move the market strong at 1 o'clock. So be ready 1 p.m. Central Standard Time for a big move. Even though it says yellow, be ready for a big move at that time. Thursday. Thursday really is a day that I like more than Wednesday itself. Wednesday, cool. We have CPI, we have federal budget balance kind of stuck there. Cool. Thursday's the day that I like though. Thursday, we have core PPI, PPI, and unemployment happening all at the same time. That's what I like. And at what time? 7:30. Perfect time for it to move and do what it has to do. And then later on, 9:30 natural gas, then noon, 30-year bond. So again, let's pay attention to that 30-year bond, that 10-year bond, just so we can kind of get an idea of where things are pacing at for NAS in the long term. But for trading news, if you do like I do and you love that, Thursday, I think is going to be better than Wednesday in itself. But again, I won't be live at that time. I'll be live 30 minutes later. We should still get a nice little aftermath of that to be able to hit the bell. So no worries at all. And we close out the week pretty chill. Nothing to worry about Friday because we really don't have any news. Not for the US, at least not right now. So clear coast, we do have import prices, but that's really no big deal. So chill week in its sense because we don't have a lot of news. Like last week was weird. We had a lot of news at different times, just nothing was really in order. Right now, the really important news that we have, PPI, CPI happening at 7:30, perfect time. The other weird ones are happening way after the bell, noon, 1 o'clock, perfect time. I'm happy. I'm excited. Not telling you guys, promising anything, but I'm personally buying another 50K myself on the future side of things. I'm going to focus a little bit more on the futures, which again, if you're on TradexMastery, no worries, tap in, we'll be good. But my TradexMastery ones are pretty much set for the year, so I'm actually going to go ahead and bump a few more 50K prop firms out. So I'm going to buy a 50K this week. My focus is to pass it this week on the live session. So I'm excited to trade and I'm excited to trade heavy this week. It's good. Like Rich said, we have only a few weeks left for the month to end, meaning the year ends. And I got a couple more prop firms to pass, a couple more prop firms to fund. I want to end the year strong, guys, because again, it's on me, right? I'm the one that buys the prop firm. I'm the one that hits the button. So I can't blame nobody else for not hitting my goal. So we have a few weeks. We could still hit that goal for sure. So let's pass some prop firms. Let's get it. But yeah, back to you, Rich.
Yeah, bro. You just got to risk 5% in one trade and you're good.
Easy. On the future side for sure, but because all you have to do is phase one 6% and you can pass it in one day. So actually, with the news with this week, that's probably what I'm doing. I'm gonna buy one or two of those and CPI, PPI, buy. Next thing you know, funded. All good.
Let's get it, bro. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and start breaking down some markets here. So I'm gonna start with gold. We'll move to Nas and then crypto. You wanna do that flow, bro? All right, cool. Well, obviously with crypto, I mean, it won't have to take that long. At the end of the day, we just got our whole December list. Tap into the recording that we have from today's call because Armin gave his crypto list for December. So I'm just saying, I already put down my racks. I'm ready. But yeah, let me share my screen here. Oh, Candace. No, Candace don't miss a beat. Candace, I already know. There's a reason why Candace is who she is. She's coachable, teachable, no matter what, man. Let's go. I'm gonna share my screen here. Let's look at gold real quick. All right. So we always like to revisit last Sunday because if we don't ever go back, I'm like, well, do these guys even like really predict right or whatever on Sundays? Like until we actually go back and look at what happened. Last Sunday was this right here. Now, I still have my markups here because again, I'm not even really actively trading gold. I usually kind of just give you my overall analysis, let Brent really do the heavy lifting with gold. But I told you guys, overall, this was going to be a very sensitive area and we've seen it. There's a lot of opportunities for scalping and if you're looking for to catch not that many crazy pips, like really since Sunday when we were here, we ranged down maybe like what 400 something pips, came back up. So we've basically consolidated really for the whole week. The whole week from last time we spoke to now, created moves that were just like basically ping-ponging this area of quote unquote support and respecting this area of resistance. I don't use that terminology in my analysis, but just to make it simple for everybody, we clearly see gold respecting this point and this point as well. And we basically just kind of been ping-ponging all week within here. Overall, pretty much since last week, nothing really changes of my perspective. I told you once we tap into this area, we should see rejections and come to make a new low in the market if we're going to stay bearish. Now, what would make me kind of change my mind is if we start seeing for the week, if we get a strong break and close bullish above 2655 area, like not that it kind of like taps and then drops, not a fake out, but if like a good strong close on the 4 hour time frame, for example, above these highs, is a pretty good indicator that we're going to end up coming back above this area. And again, that's already like the early signs of another 300 something pip move, which we're not even really trying to catch that many. Um, for gold. You guys know Brent and a lot of people are just going for 30, 60, 90, whatever the case is. So, all in all, um it's I guess kind of overall tough to say because again, when you're in a ping pong back and forth market, it turns into a 50-50 shot. What I would just say is like for me, I would actually like to buy if I can see price breaking close above here aggressively on the 4 hour and use that as like a newfound support area here and start gunning for these highs. Now, again, I'm not even that aware of seasonality when it comes to gold. If towards the end of the year we typically see a crash or a rally, so that's why I say, man, like I humbly, like I step out the way for Brent. I just give you guys my technical analysis on this pair, but yeah, that's it for me. Brent, you want to share screen or you're muted?
There we go.
There we go.
It was hiding on me. I found it. All right.
You're gonna share?
Yeah, yeah, I'll share really quick
All
here.
right.
So with gold, just like Rich said, right? It's stuck in this price. So the week before that, I called the sell. It went to 1 to 1, went to 1 to 2, then closed out. I should have stayed, of course, but this freaking candle right here just came back, tapped TP2, and then just tanked. So obviously missed what could have been a lot more. But I never deleted that. And typically I do. And I said, I think last time, like, you know what? We're not going to leave this. We're going to look at this point. That's why I put that little dot there. We're going to keep on playing with it. Last Sunday, same situation. Last Sunday we came into it. So this was this Sunday. Uh, here, right? Yeah. So we left that, let it play, kept on going with it, tapped multiple times this high, kept on respecting it. It would wick out, make a little bit, but it always kept it as a low high multiple times. This was the last, I think, tap the trade that I sent out or trade alert, one of the, no, it was a trade alert. The last trade alert on Thursday that we sent out on the live session. Tanked completely, went all the way through. So beautiful, beautiful catch there. Able to grab a hold 900, it was a 1 to 3, hold 90 pips down. And then continued to drop, which was kind of crazy, right? Because I wasn't expecting it to really keep on going. It kept on going fully. And now we're here. So now we're here at this real mess, really, to be honest, because it's just really big wicks on both sides, big candles, really dirty, nothing really crazy. I saw this candle happen in real time, which was absolutely crazy, but it's starting to hit this top again. So we have really one or two scenarios, right? Which I know obviously it makes sense, right? Either it goes up or go down. But the thing is that it needs to fully break above this. And to me, really, the number that makes most sense would be 26,666, pretty much. I'll say 6,7 for those that freak out, right? But really, it's going to be kind of that number where it needs to fully, I think if it wants to go up, it could fake us right here and then drop just based off the way that it's acting. So if I were to be going for buys, which I really don't, I would want it to go up and break fully above that 666, 6,7, and then retest it and then continue to look back for the highs that we've been seeing, right? Which there's plenty, plenty of room all the way to really 2,800, right? So there's plenty of room for it to go. But then again, I've been mentioning this for a very long time because of how gold has been acting for the last few months, we should expect maybe the other way around. A lot of things happening, economics, politics, this, that. I think there could it would make sense for the dollar to end strong for the year. If that's the case, then we should see gold drop a little bit more. And I still want to see that 2450 still in this year. We still have a couple weeks for gold to eventually come down to this point. If it does not come down to this point, I feel it's going to make January really messy. So really one of those two. I'm looking for this to go down, obviously, and hit all of these zones of 2611, 2600, 2562, 25550, 25540. I'll make it all the way down to 2450. If not, no worries. It'll keep on going up. We have multiple areas for it to go up as well, but I would fully wait for that true full breakout around 666, 667, retest, and then look for buys. So that's where I'm at for gold right now. In the meantime, of course, we will scalp the life out of it. No worries. It doesn't matter where it wants to go. We'll have fun.
But show. All right. All right. All right. So we got gold out the way. Um, isn't it funny how like gold was like the shining star for a long time and now people have kind of just like I guess it's cool now. It's still good, you know? But finally, like akashx was like I'm about to call it a gold X at some point, bro. Like it was just crazy.
Yeah.
My goodness. That's the important thing that you guys need to realize, man. A lot of you guys are in your first couple months, first year of trading, and you're literally taking in the experience one day at a time, you know? So if you're coming into akashx your first couple months during a literally like historical gold bull run of all-time highs, you're like, dude, gold, where's that? And it is a great asset. A lot of people love trading it, but you'll see like there's a season where certain markets are very active and you're gonna see your first real crypto run. Like you guys haven't seen anything. And we've already seen portfolios doubling, tripling, quadrupling. Just Brent's ADA call, Cardano did 400%. Freaking my Peloton stock, XRP did a 400%er. Like you've already seen money flipped four times, three times over and over with just us two, and we're not even like really the crypto guys. So like that's how you know we're in that season and why we had to incorporate talking about that here. Mostly just to keep raising the awareness and to give you guys the confidence to trust in people like Armin. And I mean, ultimately, look, at the end of the day, you have to trust yourself, you know, like especially with crypto it's not like you're taking a trade alert that you're in and out and it's some of you guys are on a demo or a funded and whatever. Like a crypto investment, like you really got to put your own personal money. Obviously, there's no prop firms for that. And you gotta like really believe in the project. And so just learn, not just what projects to put money in because other guys are doing it, but start to understand things like the market cap. Start to understand things like utility. Start to understand how to purchase and set up your wallets and how to, have a cold storage. Like just get educated on like the tier one level to like be prepared, because the December list came out, and you want to tap into that and you want to get ready because we're just getting started with what's going to happen. But hey, the indices have not been shy to creating massive moves either. So we got to talk about that. Um, Brent and I, a couple weeks when we were at this area, we were really looking for price to continue to like come back a little bit lower. We never ended up getting back there, bro. And I talked to you guys that day about the importance of indices with the higher time frames, like the 4 hour with 62% retracements. We don't really talk about fibs much. I know Brent doesn't incorporate it a lot, like it's not his main thing, and me either, and it used to be more, but it is important to understand why the Fibonacci thing even exists, right? It's for a reason. These retracement levels are big. In my education that I've always studied is if we're going to trade a trending market, you want to get in on the pullbacks, not on the breakouts, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with breakouts. And even my strategy is partly a breakout strategy. But I'm talking about like, again, overall higher time frames, understanding like big picture so that you can jump into the smaller time frames. But on the big picture, whenever you have price clearly like, form that lower, like that low that forms a crazy new high in the market, when we start getting that big meltdown, don't get caught up into just that little move. And Brent caught that move. I know we've been giving Brent his flowers all day, but I mean, the guy just knows what he's doing, bro. Like Brent called the sells since here and we caught that meltdown. But anybody trying to get in on the meltdown here, you're missing the bigger picture. And that's why a lot of people get caught up in just looking at the smaller time frames. But if you learn to operate on the small time frames, but always know where you're at in the grand scheme of price, I think that's the biggest thing. And so once we really tapped into 62 and we started seeing price really continue to wick, like not making any new lower lows, that's where we shifted our bias a little bit and we started catching the buys on the way up for the most part. And I talked to you guys about correlating assets and how important it was to pay attention to what the other indices are doing, right? The Dow Jones, aka US 30, the S&P 500, aka SPX 500 are the other stock market indices that you guys can trade. You guys will see John Leal, certain educators pull the trigger on, those pairs or those instruments, but I just find that NAS is my cool middle ground and we talk about it a lot. Brent just likes it as well. And you know, it's easy to either not know about the other indices when you watch our stuff or not think that it really matters. But I bring all this up because I've said it that, when we did anticipate some NAS sells and whatnot, we did get them. But overall, when we had all-time highs breaking for US 30 and the S&P, the only one that lagged behind was the NASDAQ. It was the only one that didn't make new all-time highs. And I gotta think like if we just had Nvidia, we just had Apple, like we have all these massive tech companies having record finances right now. How the heck are we not gonna make all-time highs? And so surely enough, it ended up happening. And so understanding, like we always say, oh, the fundamentals don't matter. Of course they matter. We just don't get caught up in the moment of negative reports, or we don't get caught up in the moment of what price is going to react to in that same day or same minute. Like that's where the fake outs and all that happen. But overall, it made sense for NAS to always end up catching up with what everything else is really doing. So with that said, we're obviously in very, very we are in all-time high territory right now. Personally, based on my personality and like how I am, I'm very like contrarian and why I think I like reversal patterns and stuff like that a lot. And I just do not feel comfortable buying all-time highs personally. If we're close to it and we have some other pullbacks and things of that nature, I'm more comfortable to buy. Like, for example, here is very high compared to where we've been overall, but you also want to go with the trend. It's a little bit of a mix. All that is to say, overall, we have to maintain a bullish bias because there's no reason to have a bearish bias right now until we like very strongly break and close below 21,400. Like if we close below 21,400 very aggressively, that is the time for us to really start to scale out and really look at price coming back into like all of these lower levels, maybe retesting the old previous all-time high, something like that, until we get a clear break. And again, we'll start off 4-hour time frame. All right. Look at the market structure. Okay. We literally just had this little high right here. We had a pullback, and now we have a new all-time high. Okay. So price is still bullish. We've seen it go up, pull back up, pull back up. All right. So overall, we should be focused on buying, but I don't want to buy at the all-time high personally. I would see if once we come back into this general area that we can go for buys again and take us to a new leg higher and continue the trend. Very simple pullback continuation. Again, if we start to break and close below 21,400 aggressively and respect that, then again, we can look at other concepts like filling in imbalance, retesting the old structure that was over here and continuing that. But for now, because we're not looking to catch 20,000 pips, we just need 500, 1,000, 1,500, whatever. What I would see for tomorrow is the following. And if you guys took my last trade alert, we ended up hitting TP2 on this little drop for like a 1-to-1, and then we ended up climbing back. And technically, did we end up hitting stop on that? I think it ended up finally hitting stop if you stayed in that trade from Friday, which I never recommend, FYI. I've always told you guys, like, we're looking for the price to melt or push in our direction immediately. And if not, like, don't re-enter because then this stuff happens, especially on a Friday. So I think for now, what I was looking for from Friday to sell into these areas is still going to happen. I just think that price was not fully ready to do so. So again, everything is bullish. This is technically a counter trend trade. However, this is the early signs that price is having its last hoorah before eventually like correcting and coming back down. This is going to be all one big buildup of liquidity, right? A lot of people have been buying since down here. They've been contributing to buying at all of these lows, right? So there's a lot of money sitting in here. That's why I think eventually we will come back up after we take out all of that price action, right? But for now, I want to see all of that liquidity grabbed, right? In the form of a fake out to the upside with a rejection, shift of structure, and continuation down. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Now, we need the Asian range to form for my specific strategy. Who the heck took off my indicator here? Bruh. Okay. Sorry, guys. I have to fix my colors and stuff now. I don't know why that thing disappeared. But we're already seeing the Asian range high and low. And you guys can learn my strategy through the educator training series. I'm not going to go over it. But essentially, if this ends up being the high and low, what I would like for my reversal model is for us to actually break above that and actually break and close back below that for entries to sell down into here. If we don't even get that, like if we continue to like break a little bit higher and the Asian range closes here and we just kind of reject and break below here, then I just got to take the breakout sell and whatever. So the overall bias regardless is I'm not trying to buy all-time highs and expecting it to keep going. And it can. And I'll be willing to take a loss on it. Because again, if the Asian range stops right here and I wait for that, push up, rejection, break and close below, then with our 500 pip stop right around here, these targets of at least the liquidity from these lows right here will give us the room for a TP2, TP3 type of vibe right here. And if we can really swing it to this imbalance, we'll maybe get a TP4. So again, notice whenever we get those like TP5 crazy runs, it's because we're going with the trend, especially a bullish one. But whenever we do pullback trades and whenever we're trying to sell against the stock market, I don't have as high hopes to hold on for a whole meltdown, only in certain situations. So I'd say if we can catch a nice like TP2, TP3 tomorrow, if we get this move to respect during New York session and not during London session, then that's the trade I'll take. So I prepared y'all. I'm looking for sells. I'd actually want it to pop up first, reject, and then get in. So that's my view on it. I'll let Brent, give his piece as well and keep it pushing. Because you guys know if I don't catch it, Brent's gonna catch something, and vice versa. Like if one of us is gonna catch Nas every day, that I can almost freaking guarantee you, bro.
Typically, it's you catch it, then I catch it, I catch it, then you catch it. So it's always a back forth, right? That's even better because it's a back to back.
Yeah,
But
bro.
so this whole week, guys, and I love what Rich said, right? Like when you're scalping, it doesn't matter, but it matters, right? So something that I've spoken about many times, and I have it in my educator training series. I tell you guys all the time, if you know, you know now, right? What is this right here? What do we trade inside of? Let's see who's paying attention. What are we trading in here, right? Channel. We're trading in the channel. We know that this is a channel, meaning what? We went 8-0, guys, last week in a live sessions. Every single NAS trade that I sent was a sell. So on a full uptrend, but I'm not selling right here. I'm not selling right here. I'm selling here, right? Selling here. Where I have my dots literally right there. I'm selling there. I'm selling at the high peak. So it's something you still, that's why I love scalping right at that point, because we literally can buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, 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 sell. Probably been all destroyed here of emotions, not full stop loss, but it'd be like, yo, what is it dropping? Finally, it drops, buy again. And then, yes, it's starting to touch that channel, right? But like Rich said, it needs just a little bit more. It needs to come up a little bit more to start getting to where that channel is to finally drop. We are definitely overdue right now for a drop. And you see that. So like here, for example, right? We're not going to go that far. This is last Sunday to Monday. And that's why Rich is saying he wants to see this tomorrow, right? We have the Sunday, or is it Monday? Yeah. Basically, we have a big up to do what? At least it covers 50%. We haven't really covered here nothing at all. So like since Tuesday, we never really retraced this whole bull rally. This isn't a retrace. Retest and goes up again. This whole move right here, this needs to be retraced. So we're overdue to come down to that 21,540 to that 2500, 21,500 area. And even better, if it breaks down below that, then we'll probably see that whole 21,300-ish or whatnot. Because like I said, we still have all of this due. We need to pay this. Like this needs to come down for sure. This needs to come down. It's gonna kind of suck if it just keeps on going up higher and higher and higher. Because I mean, so what? You're gonna just break up to go again, and now you're gonna leave this overdue, and this overdue. Like it's just too much, especially at the end of the year. And I love too what you said, right? Like what happened? Like everything was going up, right? US 30, SPS 500, NASA wasn't going up, right? So what's everybody doing? Buying NAS. What did NAS do? Drop. So that's again, you don't fall for that smoke. The charts told us that. Shout out to Rich on the NVIDIA one. NVIDIA earnings, they're high. Everybody's going to NVIDIA. So what do you think? I'm buying Nest. Seconds later, boom, huge drop in media, screwed everybody over. That's why you pay attention to the charts. The candles don't lie, guys. Candles do not lie. It's important to know news, to know how to trade it, but the candles do not lie. Everything else was saying Nash should have gone up, but it didn't until now. Did it go up? Of course it did, because it was meant to happen. And like I mentioned last weekend too, NAS, unfortunately for me, because I like my Bears more, but NAS should continue rising. There's no reason why NAS next year goes up to the 30,000s. Like, I know it sounds crazy when you think about it, but we're going into a bull run. But this bull run is definitely different on the crypto side because we have, like I said last weekend, right? We have actual companies adopting it, not just in a form of a payment, but they're actually adopting it as far as like their safe haven, right? Like they have their own investments to make sure that if sales go down, this happens, blah, blah. They have that little piggy bank, right? They have their little backup money. But they don't just have money sitting because money is worth nothing. They have it in different investments. They have it in stocks. They have it in gold. They have it in this and that. A lot of these companies are switching and they're putting it into cryptocurrencies, right? They're leaning on that. Governments are getting more into it. I was seeing a bunch of governments now are doing, I think it was like France, Czech Republic. I forgot there's a lot of actual places now that they're saying, hey, you know what? Bitcoin, no capital gains if you hold it for 3 years. Like we're having actual like Czech Republic, France, like it's not just like, oh, the state of Texas said it. No, guys, like we're having like at a high level, let's begin. That's just the first step. Like, hey, guess what? No crypto, no capital gains if you hold it for 3 years. Let's see how it feels. And then they keep on adding more and more and more and more into it as it goes. So with that said, NAS 100 is a tech company. We're seeing crypto attached more and more to tech as well. It's bound to happen. But for it to go up, what has to happen first? Has to go down. So I'm 100% waiting on this drop too. How would it make perfect sense? If it goes up, it goes up. We'll continue to buy. We'll continue to scale. We'll scalp it. No big deal. But it would be really nice if it does go down, bro. But yep, that's it for me.
For sure, bro. For sure. All right. So last thing. I know I talked to you guys about ApeCoin. ApeCoin had a nice little surge to start the week. We kind of have slowed down. Obviously recently, at the end of the day, personally, like I told you guys with ApeCoin, um, this is something that is not gonna move until the NFT movement really catches fire again, which can all like it could also never happen. I told you guys, like I tell anybody in any type of trading, whether it's crypto, stocks, whatever, you gotta put money in that you don't need right now and that you don't care to lose for two reasons. Number one, obviously you gotta financially protect yourself. Number two is if you touch money that you shouldn't really be touching, then you're gonna stare at the charts all the time and you're gonna pull out early. You're gonna go through all the cycles of emotions. When I tell you, I literally do not care what this thing does. Like I actually mean it for real. And it's not to be mistaken with I'm being careless with my money or being careless with giving you guys ideas, but that is the method of operation because I understand what I've studied for a long time and I had so many reasons for me to want to get into this opportunity that if it doesn't work my way, whatever. Like I already did as much thinking into this as I possibly could have to make myself feel comfortable about it. I said, hey, we're very underpriced compared to where we've been at all-time highs. Like at $27 of an all-time high in an era where crypto was not as accepted, where crypto was not as popular, and there was nowhere near as many people in the space compared to now. All I'm looking for is for us to not even get half of what we were before. That in itself is a very reasonable expectation. I'm not saying that we're going to get to all-time highs. I'm not saying that we're going to end up going to $100 an ApeCoin. I just said if we can get to less than half of where we've been, the same thing I said about Peloton, very underpriced assets, very underpriced. That if they make half recoveries to their peaks, we 10x our money. So I'm willing to put a certain amount, wait for a 10x. And in this situation, like, I mean, now if you get in at $1.80 to $12 is not really a 12x. It's more like a 6 point something. But still, you're still 6 times your money if we actually obviously get there, which we may never get there. But from the technicals, again, huge imbalances. Like from a charts perspective, these imbalances will get filled as long as there's reason for this to actually be utilized and NFTs make a resurgence. For those that don't even know what NFTs are, non-fungible tokens, these are like the little art pieces that you would see online that I thought were completely invaluable. I mean, they're just literally JPEG pictures on your phone of monkeys and all these different things, but it wasn't about the actual art more than it was access to community and status, right? Ape, like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, it was a status symbol that you were educated on crypto, you had the guts to put money into that field. Um, and just having an ape coin, like I mean, having a bored ape like in your collection and post that on social media, it was like celebrities, people with money. Like it was just like I got money. That's really what it was, right? And I mean, those people had their little fun. Now they definitely are crying because they lost a lot of money on this. Like if you bought Bored Apes at their peaks and stuff, like you hate life right now. At least in regards to that money you spent there, and they're hoping for the resurgence anyways. So we're not in that club of showing off. We're not in the club of owning a stupid asset that didn't do anything long term. We're banking on the fact that there was something to that movement. It was just very early, and they're gonna learn the lessons that they needed to take away from that and find a way for it to actually work. Like that's my belief. Again, from the charting perspective, this thing has been making new lows forever. We saw that first shift of structure, we retested, and now we made a second shift of structure. So it wasn't a one-time liquidity grab and drop. It was a push, a retrace, and another extension of a new potential trend. And so again, like even just clearing out the old liquidity of like this high and these highs from $1.50 to like almost $3 basically here is already doubling your investment. It's already doubling your investment just from here to here. So you see like why I'm willing to take a chance on that, you know? So that was like the one crypto I talked to you guys about because XRP I personally exited. I know it could go higher, whatever. Personally, I'm still gonna tell y'all, I'm I'm gonna like bet on the imbalance retracement. Like I will get back in under $1, but I have no interest in getting into XRP unless it's under $1 personally. How you feel about it, the research you do, whatever. I'm just letting y'all know. XRP has a history of spike and drop, spike. Now what's next? I expect a drop. And from there, we'll see. That's the way I see it. So that's like already off standby. Ape, that's my thing. And then all the other projects from our men's list, you guys can get it by watching the replay, tapping into his stuff. Krypton Academy coming out. Solid. So there's so much to do, guys. Like so much projects, so many things. But that's it for me, man. It's very simple. I just want to give you guys an update on that before we wrap it up. We're still right under an hour. So,
Yep.
Brent, bro, if you want to talk about any last minute stuff, bro.
Yeah, I got one crypto too. So, as you guys know, I've been talking about XLM for a long time since I spoke about ADA. So, ADA went a total of 280% growth on ADA. I still have some there left. What I have right there is pure profit. So, I'm letting that runner run to where it needs to go at this point. But 280 already growth, amazing. XLM, I mentioned that I liked it. Well, we kind of missed how it jumped, and I wanted to wait for that retrace. And I already had this charted up, and it was pretty cool because Armin called this one out today on his list. So that got me really excited, right? Because again, I'm not crypto like that, but these are cryptos that I've been following for a long time. Now, XLM, Armin already called it now, right? And one of these is he mentioned that it's for the long run. And this is something that I look at the exact same thing, right? So XLM right now is at sitting at 47, 48 cents. Ideally, where I want it to come down to first is 40 cents or 35 cents, either of those marks. And I'm looking for it to go to at least $1. Optimistically, it could get there by the end of this month. Like it just needs one quick push and it's gone. I mean, realize from here, guys, this was Thursday to Saturday. It's like Thursday to Saturday, it went from 23 cents to 63 cents. So it's not that it needs that much time. It's not as crazy as it sounds for it to already touch $1. Now, I already bought some right now. Cool. I already have some anyway, so it's just letting it do what it has to do. But ideally, I want it to come down. My first entry, obviously, we don't close out cryptos like that, but just I still like to target it because I'm used to doing that in the trading aspect of it. And as far as I like having that determined goal, right? Yes, if I buy it here and it comes down, it's not that it's going to hit my stop loss and I'm going to lose it, but it's more of like I'll take the L in a sense, like, okay, I was personally wrong. Whenever it comes back, it comes back. Now, I say that in a sense because I still want to make sure I have a target. So I'm going in at 40, letting it drop down to 20. Okay, I'm done. But the cool thing is that if even if it touches that high that it was at before and it rejects and drops back down, if I go in at 40 and it goes to that high, I went 20 down to 25 up. I still doubled. So like it's still an easy win at that point. Obviously, nothing's granted in this, but I say easy win because it doesn't even need to get close to that dollar for me to already have recovered my investment. If it comes down to 35, even better. Because at the same situation, right, I'm going 20 down, but then it'll be 35 up. So it's still good. I see XLM by like the end of Q1. So I think that's somewhere around like May, right? If I'm not mistaken, because this has to do a lot with company stuff. Like it has to be with adaptation utilities companies. So that's why I see more the end of I think the end of Q1 is around May, if I'm not mistaken, April, May. So by then, I think this could easily be at like the $2.50 to $3. Ideally, my point, like target point for how far XLM could go by next year with this run is $4. So I understand why Armin, when he said, hey, this is a long-term play, but it could go a lot. That's why, like, I truly see XLM hitting that total of $4. But for now, just to end the year, I would love for it to touch $1, if not at least around that 70 cents mark. And that's a beautiful win. So if it touches that 40 cents, 35 cents, I will buy again. When it reaches that 65, 70, I will be doubled on my investment, pull out what my investment was, let the runner run. When I pull out my investment, I'll put it into something else and just keep on running that way so I can have ultimately as many coins as possible, but all just runners run, let it be pure profit. So I'm excited for XLM. Chainlink did a drop, but Chainlink is a little bit more like not difficult, but especially if you're starting off, Chainlink's a little bit rough because you're getting in. Like I didn't even call this one out because the point that I was looking at to buy was 22 and it came down, but it's $22. So it's like you buy 5 coins and be like, okay, cool, I got 5 coins of Chainlink. Or you could go and buy at 40 cents. $100 worth of XLM. So it's just I'll rather go into XLM at that point and kind of talk more about the XLM side. But let's see what happens. In the meantime, that's charted. Again, I did buy a little bit more today because Armin said so. But if it does come down, these will be my entry points to come in and buy a little bit more in dollar cost average, a little bit more of XLM and take that to $1 all the way to $4 by the end of Q1 next year. But that's it for me, bro.
Fire, bro. Fire. Yeah, guys, please go look at the recording of today's call, or just make sure you get your hands on the list from Armin, because there's some gems I think for real in there. I mean, he has the track record. I mean, October, September, proven, And I think we're all very careful, especially to like tell you guys what we're getting into. At the end of the day, we all win and lose together. It's not like we're telling you guys to do something we don't do. Um, but for the most part, man, it's like crazy accurate. So I'm just saying, like, what we talked about on the call today was you have to understand that akashx is like a multi-dimensional, like multi-income platform. And if you just come in trying to pass your phase ones and twos and get funded, and that's like your only thing, I get it. Like it takes a lot of energy and focus, and it's a commitment to get funded, especially when you're new. That is a big commitment. I get it. It's a lot to do at once. But the thing is, man, like when you buy crypto, it literally will take you 5 minutes. Like obviously you gotta upload your IDs, pick an exchange, but like once you create an account, you just literally buy into the coins and just let it sit. So don't think that like you can't split your focus to do that, because I would actually like tell you to just put all your focus for at least the next 48 hours to just getting your crypto exchange, making sure that you're deciding. I mean, I'm not saying you have to buy into these lists. At the end of the day, we're not financial advisors. We don't give financial advice. You got to make your own decisions. But if you're here in akashx and you're listening, like do that first and forget about taking NAS, forget about taking gold, forget about tap to trade. Like get yourself set up with your wallet. I don't care if it's like $10. I don't care. But like build the habits of having crypto, buying crypto, having an exchange, whatever. And scale your way in, because the whole point of 2025, guys, is you need to leverage akashx and at my daily choice. You know what's free? Your influence, your energy, and your voice and your passion. That doesn't cost you $1. I want you to listen to me right now. If you do not go and hit the first ranks in this company, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna say look, it's not for everybody, okay? But like there's money there. I just don't want anybody to ever say there wasn't the opportunity to win big here because it doesn't cost you at all to share the business. It's just all internal. Like it's literally fear, self-doubt, thinking you don't know enough about the markets, feeling like you haven't made enough money to talk about it. Like all these paradigms, these are things that don't matter. Because at the end of the day, what where the money's at is listening to the people with experience. It's not you. I don't even care if you're a super affiliate. If you haven't been in the markets for 5, 10 years, it's like a trader trying to tell you how to go super affiliate when you're a super affiliate. It's the same thing. So what it doesn't matter what rank you guys are at. If you don't have a rank, go get yourself some residual income. Go get yourself some autopilot money with this business for just plugging people into calls like this. Because if you don't do that, you're not gonna have easy capital to throw into the market. I know you work really damn hard at your jobs, your other things to make that money to pay your bills, feed your family, take care of stuff. And to go and put that thing into an account or buy a funded, like that's intimidating. It's hard. And you probably are gonna lose that money when you're a beginner and you don't know what you're doing. All right, residuals, funded, put it into crypto. Residuals, funded, put it into crypto. Because your rank money and your payouts from TradexMastery or your personal accounts, oh my God, if you spend it on your lifestyle stuff and you don't dip it into something, man, I don't know what to tell you. Like I made that mistake already in my first crypto run. I did, you know. So just lock in, bro. Like I'm telling you, the easiest money you're gonna make in the next year will be from crypto flips. It's just like some people will turn 100 into 400, some people will turn 1,000 into 4,000, some will turn 10 into 40, and some will turn 100 into 400. Like it's not about the money, it's about the like the growth that you'll have in such a fast period of time. But that's why money's a tool and why you have to like use it right now, you know? So at the end of the day, again, only invest what you can lose, be smart, but the more money you make from these other streams, the more money you have to play with. So that's really it, man. Brent, you got any last minute words, bro?
It's easy as that, bro. Literally, like, look, like,
On rotation, bro.
it's a little bit blurry, right? Because see, like, Coinbase,
Nah, I
all
see you,
purchase
bro.
today, right? All the purchases that I did today from Armin's, right?
Yep.
Guys, none of that was from trading, and I love trading, guys. You know that, right? But none of that was from my prop firm accounts, my live accounts. My prop firm accounts, live accounts, it buys all the nonsense stuff, right? Like it'll buy the new ring and this and that, whatever. That's just whatever. It's the fun money. That's what that's for, right? What allowed me to buy that was playing show and telling. You know, for how many sources of revenue you guys have that you don't take advantage of? So, and it's crazy, guys. So Rich was talking about the hitting rank, right? Which that makes perfect sense. But just so you guys are like, when you have a clear mind and you don't put any excuses towards you, it's just crazy when you start seeing things. By referring people to TradeX, right? You get 15% commission when they buy. That wallet you put a BTC address to get paid out to. Anytime you sell accounts, it goes in there, and then that money gets sent out automatically to your wallet. So literally, I play show and tell. I use my Instagram correctly, and without me doing anything, TradeX accounts are being sold. Anytime it hits over $100, it gets sent out automatically to my wallet. And then guess what? When Armin dropped a list today, all I had to do is go in, buy, and I changed to Bitcoin. Buy, change to Bitcoin. I didn't use my credit card. I just used that. And it was money that came from TradeX. So you guys literally can make money from TradeX. You can make money from akashx. Can make money from trading. Like there's so much stuff out there that I know a lot of people are sleeping on. Literally. Like you want $120? I'll put you on right now. I'll tell you how you can get $120 by Thursday. It's easy. You're not going to get another job. You're not going to go to the pawn shop. You're not going to put overtime. And you're going to get $120 by Thursday. And now next time Rich says, hey, buy eight. I say buy XLM. Armin says buy whatever, right? Or you want to buy another prop firm, guess what? You're actually going to get a little bit more than 120, but 120 because when you bring one person into a cash fix, you get $40. 40 times three, it's 120. No overtime, no extra job, no pawn store. All by playing show and tell. 120. And guess what? Money saved is money made. You brought three people, and guess what? Well, you're not paying anymore. You're not paying your membership to Cash anymore. No more 150. So guess what? You have 150 a month now to put more into crypto, to buy more. When you, hey, no, I don't have anything to do with Coinbase, right? That's all I know because I'm barely like learning more about like crypto stuff. But Coinbase, you could literally put recurring. I could put recurring to make sure it buys a coin recurring once a month. And if I don't have to pay a akashx once a month anymore, I could buy a crypto once a month recurring. You can play with it because you have freedom. We spoke about this last week. Did I not tell you guys to go and talk to the mirror last week? I said, get in the mirror and talk to that to you. Hey, Brett, the hell? Why have we not hit our goals? That's it. You stop making excuses, figure out the reason what you need to do and do what you got to do. You guys have opportunity to make money without any investment. And that's the craziest part. I come from a sales background. Everything that I've sold in my life before, you have to buy, you have to invest, and you have to resell. To buy, you need to have money. Once you buy it, now you have to hold it, overhead, this, that. By the time you sell it, that profit that you make isn't even yours because you have to cover everything else that you did. Guys, you have completely free. It costs you nothing to show and tell about akashx. It costs you nothing to show and tell about TradexMastery. It costs you nothing to show and tell about Trident. I know Rich likes his Trident emails for sure. Rich is heavy on the Trident emails. I'm heavy on the TradexMastery email. So, guys, you have it all. All that it is that you need to get up and do it. And you have leadership. That's the biggest thing, too, guys. Like, you have amazing uplines that have amazing calls. Yesterday we had a call. I'll remove myself. Okay, let's just talk about everybody else that was on there, right? Rich was on there, John Leal was on there, Luisito was on there, Ali was on there, Josh was on there, Armin was on there. Like, guys, that was just today. Yesterday there was a Super Saturday call. Sandals was on there. Candace does amazing calls herself too. I know she's here too. She does amazing leadership calls too. Guys, there's everything that you need here. Andre, I know Andre's here too. Andre's
There's
taking
too
over
many.
classes.
There's too much powerhouse in this call right now, bro.
That's that's all it is. Like I go and I follow everybody on Instagram and I know like, okay, I'm not doing nothing right now. Oh, look, Andre has a call at 7. Let me tap in. Oh, Candace has a call today at 8. Let me tap in. I'm gonna learn something. Something. It might be just like, oh, Candace, we know that Candace is like the best, the queen for phrases, right? I'll learn a new phrase from Candace on a live session, tapping in, and now I could use that myself to get somebody else signed up. Like it's just literally, but I go in with an open mindset of like, what could I learn right now that I could take with? I'm not going in there with like, what am I going to be sold now? Or this doesn't work. I'm going to go in and be like, oh no, I'm sure that they're going to tell me to buy something and I got no money. No, I'm going in there pen and paper and let me see what I can get out of this right now so I could become more. Do the same thing. Do what we got to do. Let's go ahead. Let's hit these markets. Pay attention to your chats. There'll be more calls throughout the week you do not want to miss for sure. Let's get funded. Let's get what we got to do. Let's close out this year strong. Let's get these cryptos in time. Let's have an amazing, amazing end of the year. As always, guys, you know me. It's not about getting to the top, but it's about how many people we could bring with. And we could still bring a lot of people. We still have plenty of time here for the end of the year. So back to you, Rich.